Hey guys, welcome back. Is Binance in trouble again? Well, let's find out. There's this article that came out today on CoinDesk, and it says Hamas linked crypto accounts frozen by Israeli police with Binance's help. The good news is that Binance is complying, and being the largest exchange, of course, all eyes are on Binance. And for any terrorists that are trying to utilize crypto, and they need to use Binance as an on and off ramp. So that puts a lot of burden on Binance, but it looks like they're complying and working with the local authorities to do their part. But is Hamas using crypto? Well, I think this article answers that question. And if we look at this article, it talks about how Hamas has raised over 100,000 in BTC donations dating back to 2021. Now, 100,000 in BTC doesn't seem like a lot of money, especially in the traditional world. And money laundering is an issue everywhere, not just crypto. In fact, crypto is probably a very small percentage of money laundering crimes. But because there's a lot of scrutiny happening in crypto, we have to wipe our hands clean and figure out a way to eliminate any kind of FUD around crypto. Now, as an industry, what do we do about this? Well, first of all, we've noticed that Binance from time and time again, they get attacked and they find a way to avoid a lot of these risks. So that's great for the industry. But what about DeFi protocols? What do they do? Well, I talked to a lot of these projects, and many of them don't necessarily feel like there's anything that needs to be done, because the whole point of decentralization is that you don't have the ability to regulate it. Having said that, it says here the assessment makes clear that a DeFi service that functions as a financial institution as defined by the U.S. Bank Secrecy Act must comply with the BSA's AML CFT requirements. So either they don't understand how the technology works, or they're still insisting that we try to figure out a way to regulate this. Now, there's two sides of the coin here, right? A lot of people that are in crypto, they just don't want to be regulated and they don't want to be controlled by the government. On the flip side of that, the government doesn't want any kind of money laundering activity. So, is there a way to find a fine line? Personally, I believe so. A lot of folks in DeFi, they may not want to create, KYC, and that's a topic, different conversation. But at the very least, can we screen, monitor, and report any kind of addresses that may be affiliated with OFAC, Blacklist, exploits? I think that's a very realistic possibility without having to do a KYC. Now, how would we do that? Well, we can utilize something like SkyInsights, which is a risk and compliance tool designed by Certik. Certik being one of the leading security auditing firms, their approach is a little different. First of all, they provide the on-chain data, but what's interesting is they've done over 4,000 audits and they've uncovered over 60,000 vulnerabilities. And that way you get the most real-time data and you have an understanding in terms of who's affiliated with what when it comes to exploits or any other kind of risky activity. So I like that this is a security firm that's actually putting together this type of solution. The other thing is wallet screening. So I really like the feature where you can look to see the level of risk that a wallet has, and that risk is anywhere from low to high. There's a percentage, and it shows you the address. It gives you different tags, so you know what those risks are, if they are in relation to a exploit or OFAC or sanction. You have that information. And also, you can see if it has been directly affiliated with a specific risk or indirectly. And so you can see the inflows, the outflows for counterparties, and then you can also track the transactions and evaluate the level of risk. You can monitor specific type of transactions coming from specific wallets that you may be concerned about. And you can even create audit trails. So that way, if a government body comes to you and says, hey, we want a report from the last 3 months, you never know when you might need that kind of information. In the case of Binance, I'm sure part of their compliance with the Israeli police is they're providing some type of an audit trail, right? And right now, as I mentioned in DeFi, you may not necessarily have that, but the government as a whole, they're really beefing up their digital asset department. They're really trying to hone in on crypto specifically. And so how do we navigate these waters where if we don't want these regulations coming down the pike, perhaps we can meet them halfway and start monitoring these types of wallet addresses, these types of transactions. So I think there is a fine line that we can dabble in. So this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the capabilities. I played around with the demo. You can also go to the SkyInsights page, type in an address and play around for yourself. See the level of risk that your wallet is under. It's a free tool. Anybody can use it. But what's happening right now in that part of the world, not to get into politics, but certainly there's places in this world that are struggling right now to find peace. And, what does that have to do with crypto? Well, we can certainly do our part and stop any kind of money laundering activities. And the way we would do that is through something like utilizing SkyInsights. So if you're a chain, if you're an exchange, if you're a wallet, if you're a DeFi protocol, if you have transactions, most likely, this is something that would be extremely useful for you. So highly encourage checking it out. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next video.